Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday the 25th of October. We've got some fat new mods. PH or F? We'll find out. We've got some updates too. The Valmetal 1203 by AEN Design. The Lizard Homemade Disc Harrow by Vulex, and the IBC and Pallets Stack by AW Modding ABP Team. That last one, we're on what we're on. Changelog 1.6. There's quite an extensive changelog to that. So yeah, you probably need to go in if you've been using that mod or you want to use that mod. There's a ton of stuff has been added, a ton of stuff has been changed. So well worth a look at the changelog in there. So we're going to start with this in front of us, the Bredal K105 by 4D Modding Agri Modding. As you can see, we do have the option for the more standard 105 version that we're kind of used to, I guess, and then slightly amended, adjusted version. I really do like it. I like the options on this as well. I've got fertilizer in this one. I've got lime in this one, fertilizer in this one. This one with the 6 meter spreaders. This will go from 12 meter without the spreader bar to 18 meter width. 14.29 megabytes download, if I didn't already say that. 10 slots for the first one. We shall have a look, because these you will find under fertilizer spreaders on the end there. 45 grand. Options then, extension, none, 9,000 litre. 11,000 litre small, 14,000 litre big. We'll leave it on that for the time being. We've got wheel brand, we've got BKT, BKT, Continental, Mitas, Vredestein, back to BKT. Under this we have got, I won't read them all out, but we'll go through them. Those. Under Continental, Mitas, those two. Vredestein, those. Body option, we've got standard. Oh, right, so it comes standard like that. We've got add rear cover on if you want it. Decal options, the newer brand, I think that's the older version. Then we've got cover, yes or no, so you don't have to have the cover on. I've got one with, one without. That's up to you. I'm going to put one on so we can see the colour options. Spreader system, as I said, 12 metres. We've got the left hand side. Add the spreader system on, takes that to 18 metres. We've got body colour, so we've got the new red, older red, and then a stainless steel. Small extension colour, I think, did I go for large? Yeah, so we can change that as well, but at the moment we haven't got that on. We've got the large extension colour, so old paint, stainless steel, it's up to you. Cover colour, if you've gone for a cover, we can change our cover colour like that, and then rim colour we've got silver 2 and then a white and then a Bredal red if you want, with a license plate option there too, so quite a few different options. Well, went a bit squeaky there. So let's unfold this. Sound effects, detailing and stuff, animations on 4D modding and stuff, Agri modding is always good. I'm going to disconnect this just to see, because that's the same with their stuff as well. It's normally very, very cool, the bits and bobs. Indicators in the back. So, right, as I said, I've got lime in this. Let's turn it on. And out we go. Nice animations. Let me just turn it on again there so you can see them coming up and out. Onto the spreader discs and then flinging. Let's fold that back up again. And then we'll go to the standard. So the standard, like I say, I've got a bit of both on each really. I guess what we're more used to. So cover open if you've gone for the cover. That's usually automatic. If you come up to a buy anything silo or something like that, or a pallet or something to load up, usually that opens automatically. Now this is only set to 12, so technically this should go inside this. Now that's interesting. So either that's 12, but the other one's 12. That's not right. That's the wrong way around. The spreader bar is supposed to go to 18. I know often you'll find that the lime won't spread as wide as fertiliser does. But if that was the case, even if the fertiliser went out further than the lime did, that's got the spreader bars on. So even if the spreader bars weren't doing what they need to for lime, and that was only going out to 12, this one, without the spreader bars, is supposed to be 12. So they should have, if anything, been the same width, not... How bizarre, that's very peculiar. That's definitely the correct way round, isn't it? Let's go have a look. Just to double check, let's go down here to our spreading discs. So at the moment, left hand side saying 12 metre. Spreading discs, 6 metre spreading disc takes it to 18. I guess what I need to do now, I'm going to empty this out. And I'm going to put fertiliser in it and see if we run over the fertiliser, will the fertiliser go wider with the spreading discs? I'm not sure. That's very strange. Bear with me a second. Let me just go and unload this and refill it. So refill with solid fertiliser with the 6 metre disc. Now that one doesn't have the discs, the spreader bar. This one does have the spreader bar. So this should spread wider now. Let's see, shall we? Oh, there you go, it does. So it must just be then the lime still spreads narrower. That's a little bit wider, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, when you look at that distance, I've often thought that with the K105s anyway. The difference between standard 12 and 18, when you consider what you're paying for the spreader bars, you're better off just going with 12, really. I mean, it's not a massive amount of difference, is it? So it's obviously just the lime situation. The lime spreads narrower regardless. Something to be aware of. I had to check because I didn't want to do 4D modding and Agri modding a disservice. Saying it was broken. It's not broken, it was just the fact I should have gone with fertiliser, lime to give a direct comparison, but I was trying to show a bit of everything. Anyway, that's the Bredal K105 by 4D modding, Agri modding. Next we got this. This is the ER.MO Ripper 300. This is by A-ndrea. 7.49 megabytes download, 8 slots and 3 meters in width. This is under subsoilers. We've got a couple of options. I'm going to adjust this because I'm curious to see what difference it will make. Subsoiling sometimes brings up stones, sometimes it doesn't. It depends. You can have the option with side plates or not. There's no colour options on this at all, and you will find it under subsoilers. Right there, 8,405. Containment bands, yes or no. So you can take those off. You can just run it as a ripper like that. The containment bands are supposed to come down the side, so when you're ripping, it's supposed to stop earth and stuff moving out too far, containing the stuff. 250 horsepower required for operation. So let's start the engine up. If I unfold, it puts those containment bands down if you've gone for them. I love the fact that the pins come out and then the pins go back in. Watch that again. Pin comes out, goes up, bar comes out. The animation on that's fantastic. Pin goes back in to hold it. Oh, that's very, very cool. So then what we've got on the back here, L1 and right stick side to side, we can raise that up out the way. So what we're going to see is we're going to do it with and without. So I'm going to raise it up out the way and see if it makes a difference. Just drop it down. Yeah, so there you go. It is bringing up stones, but because it's technically ploughing, it's given a cultivated look. Sometimes subsoilers give a ploughed look, but it's given a cultivated look. That is still touching the ground regardless. So what I'm going to do now is just adjust that. So that pushes that right up out of the ground. I guess in real life that's about your depth, isn't it? Your depth for your ripping section. How deep do you want to go with that? Because as far as I can tell, with it raised or not, we're getting the same effect. Because I did wonder whether or not it would give us a ploughed look. We've had some before where when it's raised, like, hang on, when it's raised like that, it will give you a ploughed look. When it's lowered, the cultivating bit on the back then makes it look like a cultivated look, but it seems to be whichever version you go for, whichever way around it goes for, you're going to get the same regardless. But it's a very cool bit of kit. Also, I love the details on those pins, that's fantastic. Can we move that on the fly? We can. So again, so if you want to just simulate the adjusting the depth of your subsoiler, that's pretty cool. The ER.MO Ripper 300 by A-ndrea. Next, we've got these, the Valmetal Fatmix 1130 by Custom Modding. 56.47 megabytes download. We've got a trailed version, 22 slots, and then we've got two static stationary versions, both 17 slots. The difference between the two is with this one we've got a standard size and an extension, so the two stationary ones have the same. One is the standard, one is the extension. So we go into build mode, go to production and go to factories. There they are, 99,000 for that one. That one is, actually doesn't say what the capacity is, does it? Well, we'll see what the capacities are on the other one. That's interesting. And then we've got one with the extension, 101,400. And then just place as you would do for any other placeable, and that's like a production. So we come over to here, we can click on that. Now I don't know if they're going to act like the normal pull behind ones, trail ones, or the self-propelled. I don't know what the capacities of these are. I'm going to put some bales in. We'll get a look, because often if the capacity of the baler is not very much, I think the other one, the mixer, the other one, I think the maximum is 32,000. So you have to be careful depending on what size bales you're using, especially if you're using liftable bales pack or different balers where you've got maybe a capacity of 10,000-11,000 litres for a bale. If you just sling a bale in there, you might not get the correct mix. So we'll see. We're going to put a couple of bales in, we'll have a look. So that's that one. And then if we come into here and we go to our animals, so there it is, 99,900. So that should be 28,300 litres for that version. And then, sorry, before we go into that, we've got the scale option, yes or no. We'll look at that in a moment on the tractor. So we've got the scale behind, you can look around. That doesn't move. I did have a look to see if I could get it to swivel, but as far as I can tell, it stays in place, but it's still on there, which is pretty cool. Extension, so 28,300 or 32,000, yeah, that was the two differences. And then license plate option, if you want a license plate option then too. No colour options, you get it just like that. Let's hop in the tractor and we'll have a look around. There you go. So there's your scale. So as we put stuff in, we should be able to see. Like I say, I'm looking L1, turns on the mixer, R1, L1, R1. I don't think we've got an option for that. When we turn on our mixer, now we'll see when we've got some in here as well. When we've got a mix, but if I turn off the mixer, if we go to unload, this has got a really cool animation on it as well. Let's go around so we can see it a bit better. Actually, probably there. Unload here. It's pretty cool. So, what we're going to do now, haha, in theory, now we should, hopefully when we get close to this, it should give us... No, it's on both. Let's go a bit higher. No. Oh, come on. Why are you doing this to me? There we go. Mad bale skills, bruv. No. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's interesting. It's not taking it. Do I have to drop it in? Yeah. Okay. Let's just double check on this to see if we're what the capacities are. Yeah. I need to be careful here. See, with the production it's different. I can max those out, then turn it on, it'll run through the process. So the static version is different to this one, because obviously you can overfill this. This one you won't be able to. So what we'll do, let's put one of each in. Might get a couple of the others in. And the thing with this as well is, because you can't technically overfill it, you can actually put more bales in and they'll sit there, so as it gets used it will then gradually work its way through. In theory, we're about to test that theory. It doesn't work, we're about to find out, aren't we? I've made a horrible mistake, but the other one will be different. Yes, I think we've hit the limit. And then what we'll do, I think these are 11 each, so we're only going to need one of these, I think. Go on. It's a difference using a big bag handler as opposed to bale spikes, because the straps go way further down. So we can get this in. Right, so let's have a look at our fill level now. Yeah, so our hay's overfilled, so that's not a problem. Turn that on. 240 cycles per month, but the recipe's high, 1,500, 500. We've already got 7 litres, and that will start chugging away. So that acts more like a production than it does a usual forage wagon, forage mixer. So I can max those out, and like I said, because I've put swap back in here so we can see over the top, because I put more in than I needed to for the hay, as it runs through that hay will gradually just get utilised, used up. So I could put, if I put smaller round bales in, I could stack that with an extra silage bale, an extra hay bale, an extra straw bale, and that will then run a lot longer than it technically needs to. Words, right. So let's see if we can grab, let's knock one of these off. So I'm going to go to, now obviously you can make recipes, you don't have to have straw in as well. I can just make a recipe and still get Fatmix ration with hay and silage. So we should now get with this one. We'll be able to see what we're putting in. 32,000 litres, I should be good for putting this whole bale in all honesty. What should happen, it should start taking it. There we go. Which allows you to fine tune what you're putting in. I'll put the whole thing in, that'll be right. That'll take all of that. When we put our silage, when we put our oh, there we go. There's, I was thinking, I'm sure I knocked one over. There we go. So we'll just try and balance everything out a bit. Whoa! That's curious. Because usually by now that would be saying it was Fatmix ration already. It's unusual for it to require, because the other one is chugging away. It doesn't need mineral feed. Out. We should, in theory. It's showing Fatmix ration. There we go. So I can keep adjusting, putting in. I mean, you know, if you've played this before, you might be new to the game. I always say it when I do my mod reviews. I can't make the assumption that everyone watching knows what to do. You could be brand new to the game. You could be watching this mod review and saying, "How does this all work?" So for those people watching, going, "Yeah, we know all this." That's fine. That's great. I'm doing this for the people that don't know that. So I can keep adjusting. I can keep adding some more hay, keep adding some more silage, keep trying to balance all those, keep them in the green. I can put mineral feed in if I want to, but I'm on Fatmix ration already. So I'm going to then take that alongside my feed trough, my cows, whatever I'm going to do. Great. But also I can keep going up to 32,000 litres if I want to. What I am curious about is this one. How we're looking. 587 litres already. Yeah, there's nothing in there for mineral feed, is there, on this one? So because this doesn't have a spout or a tube, it should be, we just come alongside, it should say. That's interesting. I wonder if you have to put a conveyor belt under that. Because, I'm just looking, put the trailer up against it, it's not saying start filling with a trailer. Let me just check the instructions. I'm just looking at this because that's got the, you know, we saw it unload from there. This has got this here, which looks like a chute underneath there. So you're going to need to put something under that, I assume, to get that to unload. Bear with me, let me see if I've got a conveyor belt we can try it with. Because that we can tip in from here. It shows it's showing tip. I mean, I'll put the bales in the top, but I suppose you could put loose material in as well. And as you can see, that our hay is sitting on 12,000 and just keeps flickering because I've still got that bale in there. But we're ramping up on our Fatmix ration. That is curious. I'm just going to top this off and I'm going to go and get a conveyor and see if we can get that to unload. Okay, so that's on the Dr. Drulia conveyor belts, and that is coming up saying start filling. Well, there's a thing. So it is acting almost like a factory, so I can actually take products back out of that, almost like a silo. That's interesting. So, Fatmix ration. That could just be the trailer I was using for some reason. It could be if you use a smaller trailer or a lower trailer. Maybe when you come up against this. Whole 40 litres. It'll work fine. It might be you're going to need a conveyor belt to unload from it. It'd be one of those things of just having a bit of a fiddle around with it and seeing what works best for you. Let's move that out of the way. And then what I've also done on the other one, let's just double check that. Yeah, we're all good. I don't know what the capacity of that's going to be. Possibly, I don't know. It's difficult to know, isn't it? Just looking across there, that's 12,000 litres full. That's, I assume they're all going to be 12. Looking at that's on 6, 7, it's just over halfway. Potentially that could be 12,000. That could have a larger capacity, maybe, because you're combining elements. Yeah, it doesn't really say anywhere. And then this one I have now filled up completely, so that should have 32,000 litres in it. There you go, 32,000 litres of Fatmix ration. And we get to our animals, wherever they might be. We unload. Along a trough. Nice animation. Does the job. I do like that set. I'm quite taken with the static one. Well, both of them, they're very cool. But I do like the static one. Anyway, sorry I've gone on long enough for 3 mods. Well, 3, 4 technically. But I wanted to show them all working correctly. That's it for the mods for Friday the 25th of October. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, enjoy your weekend. And thanks for watching.